Welcome everybody to week 4. So we're finishing up our interview assignments, and after that comes our feasibility or recommendation reports. I've gotten a lot of questions in minute papers wanting me to go over that in more detail, so I've put up this little video. I did not want to start from there. I wanted to start from the beginning, but I've just put together this quick presentation to try to help you understand feasibility studies and recommendation reports a little better. So, what is a feasibility study? It's a report attempting to answer a yes or no research question. So essentially, is X feasible? And by feasible, possible, given constraints such as time and money and other factors. You could also say, question could be, should we implement Y? At our company, in our city, whatever. Should we implement solar-powered bike lanes in the city of Austin? That's something that a group in my other class is working on. So they're looking at that. So ideally, you conclude with a definitive yes or no answer, but sometimes your answer is going to be maybe, because there are just a lot of factors at play. So what is a recommendation report? It's attempting to decide the best option among a set number of choices. So, of options A, B, and C, which is best? Which one should we use? And again, you're aiming for a definitive answer, although that's not very clear. So, you might say, between Lenovo, HP, and Asus laptops, which should we get for our corporate laptops for our company? Or I have a group of students looking at different methods of water purification for third world countries. So basically, not looking for a definitive yes or no, but just weighing different options and deciding which option is best. So both of these have pretty similar structure. So every report's going to have an introduction, and here you're going to talk about your purpose. What are you evaluating and why? Well, what's the point of doing this? Then you're going to go into background, and that can be technical and also situational. So in terms of technical, some of the background on different technologies you might be considering for use in your company. And situational is the context in which this project is coming up. So why are we looking at improving bike lanes in Austin? Or why are we looking at different options for water purification in third world countries? Then we talk about our requirements and our criteria. What parameters are you using to determine feasibility? How are you determining the best choice in your recommendation report? So these can be things like cost. If you're looking at, say, phones or computers, it would be battery power. For cars, it might be gas mileage, warranty. And it's important when you're looking into your requirements and criteria to think long-term as well as short-term. So not just the initial cost, but how much time and effort and money is it going to cost to maintain something over time. The cheapest option at the outset might not be the best choice for your company if it's going to require a lot of work over and over, if it's going to break down easily. Then you discuss your options. How did you select your criteria? How did you select your initial options? And then you start doing your comparisons. You're breaking things down. For feasibility studies, you're breaking down things like cost or how much labor it would require to implement something. For recommendation reports, you'd probably be doing some sort of side-by-side, looking at the battery life of laptops, and then, the maintenance requirements of certain laptops and the initial cost. Then you include, it's usually best to include something called a summary table, and this presents your comparisons and analysis in visual form. So this is an example of a summary table from your workbook, or from your textbook. Yours does not have to look exactly like this by any means, but this is looking at Sirius and XM satellite radio, and they're doing a breakdown of things like music and sports channels, subscription price, signal, And they've rated it on a standard of a 4-point scale. So XM wins for music and sports channels, Sirius wins for talk and entertainment channels, XM has a better subscription price, Sirius has a better signal, etc., etc., etc. So you can see, and again, you don't have to use a 4-point scale, you don't have to make it look exactly like this. This is just an example of what a summary table might look like. And then you present your conclusions, where you weigh the options presented in written form and discuss the comparisons and discuss the options. And finally conclude with your final recommendation or opinion, your final decision based on the data. So I hope this has cleared up feasibility and recommendation reports for you a little bit. This information is all in your book, but hopefully having it presented like this makes it make a little more sense. So have a good week.